Welcome to Your Story, Our Story podcast. This is Lindsay, and I will be speaking to Rivven today. What is very unique about them is they are transgender. Hello, Rivven.
Hello, Lindsay.
I have a few questions for you today, and let's get started. First question, how old are you?
I am 25.
And where do you live?
I live in Chicago, Illinois.
And what do you do for a living or as a hobby?
I am a freelance illustrator, so I draw and paint for book covers and comic books, and I'm part of a comics collective, which is a group of comic artists who make work together in Chicago, and we're called the Lady Jars.
That is very interesting. And so how is the LGBTQIA community different in Chicago than here in Nebraska?
Well, for one, it's very big. Here in Chicago, there are a lot of us, probably because in the city of Chicago, there are a lot of people. So the community is spread out all over the city, but we have certain places, community centers we gather. It's really interesting because you can just run into people on the street or in a Starbucks sometimes and be like, hey, you seem like someone who's cool to know. It's very vibrant here. We have a lot of festivals and activities, and there's always something going on at the Center on Halsted or the Howard Brown Health Center, which are LGBTQIA community centers. So like it's vibrant, it's diverse. Usually, I mean, sometimes it gets kind of cliquey with people, but as any large group of people is, that happens. But usually it's pretty welcoming. I've had a lot of really good experiences, and the events that I've attended and the people that I've met at them are still my friends today. Like we've made lasting friendships, and we still hang out and do work and like go to movies and hang out at each other's houses, play video games, like all of the fun stuff that you get to do with your friends. I've made friends in the LGBTQIA community here. Who exemplify that and who I get to do all of that with. So I'm really excited about it. I love my circle of friends here. I feel like they're almost a second family to me. So that's really important, especially to queer people, to have that support and to have people in their lives who they identify with and who understand them and who they can go to when they're having a hard time. Because the world is not necessarily always friendly to LGBTQIA people.
And like you to mention, what does LGBTQIA stand for?
Right. Okay. So, L, lesbian, G, gay, B, bisexual, T, transgender, Q stands for queer or questioning. Queer is kind of a catch-all term for people under the LGBTQI umbrella, but only people who identify as that can really use it because it used to be a slur. So maybe like don't use that unless you identify as someone who is queer. And questioning means that you don't know for sure. So like you're thinking that you might be a part of the community, but you haven't yet decided. So you're still welcome to like figure that out. That's up to you. I is for intersex, and A is for asexual.
Interesting. And so, what advice do you have for young members of the LGBTQIA people, especially transgender?
So one thing that's like really big in our community right now is self-identification. Basically, you know yourself better than anyone else. You've lived your life more than anyone else. Like you know what's going on in your head, in your thoughts better than anyone else around you. So like if you have authority figures like parents or teachers or even friends you really trust who are like, oh no, you can't be a member of the LGBTQIA community, like you can't be bisexual or you can't be transgender because like you're too nice and normal and like I've known you all your life, how could you be this thing? They don't know what goes on in your head or how you feel things deeply in yourself. So like you should trust yourself because it'll save you a lot of anguish. I know a lot of people who waited until like way later in their lives to come to think about their gender and like come to terms with who they are, and it caused them years of misery. And not to be like down on the people who transition later, who come out as transgender or gay or bisexual later, you know, because like everybody gets to it in their own way at their own pace. But if you realize this about yourself at a young age, it can seem really scary and frightening, and a lot of people around you will pressure you not to realize this about yourself, to forget it, to push it down, to push it away, and you don't need to do that. There are people like you out there. There are a lot of them. And they're all waiting for you to come and join the community and support you and be there for you and love you and care about you. Like, if there are people in your life who don't love you and care about you, I guarantee you there are people in the community who will. Like, it might not be something you can have access to where you're at currently, but the internet is a thing, and the internet is everywhere and all the time. So you're welcome here, like, to come and be young and figure it out, and like it's a wonderful thing. So basically, this all boils down to trusting yourself. Like, believe in yourself.
Thank you for telling us your choice of words and about this, and for telling us your story. And thanks for listening to this episode of Your Story, Our Story.